Hi there, so this is a tutorial on how to use marquee tool on Pixlr online. Okay, so first of all we go to www.pixlr.com. Okay, it's our online photo editor that we're going to use for this. Then we want to go to Advanced Pixlr E and click on that. And hopefully beforehand you have downloaded an image. So then you go to open image, choose your image that you want to work on, full HD, and apply. Okay, so there's my photo that I'm going to be working on. You can see on the right hand side it says a background layer. So first thing I want to do is edit the image. So I've gone to effects library and I'm just going to choose some filters which I think would enhance the image. Okay, so you can go on them, you can see what they look like, so it affects it straight away. Try and choose things that are a little bit more interesting. You can increase or decrease the amount of filter that's on there. Okay, so that's the desired effect that I want. Then I've just gone to the marquee tool. Now I'm going to drag over the image to show the selection of what I want to copy and duplicate. Okay, so I would copy and paste, but for that, for some reason, that does not work. Okay, so what you've got to do is you've got to use a shortcut. So you've got to press Control C to copy, and then Control V to paste, and then press Control D to deselect, and then you can go to the little arrow tool and move it to wherever you want. Okay, so remember it's all about rearranging the photo. So I'm going to do that process again. Go to my marquee tool, select the area that I want to copy, Control C, Control V, Control D to deselect, go to my move tool, the little arrow tool, and move it to where I want to. And that process repeats throughout the entire image. Now you could take long rectangles like I'm doing, you could do short little squares, you could change the direction of them and you could have them going vertically. You could just do it to part of the portrait or part of the photo, you could do it to the whole photo. You could even change the type of marquee tool to a circle. Okay, so if you watch when I go back onto the marquee tool in a second, there we go, you can see there's a little circle at the top there where it says type. Now what you'll notice is that every time I am creating a new marquee selection, I have to go back onto the background copy. Okay, and that's really important, otherwise you're just selecting blank space. So each time you select a new marquee area, you've got to go back onto the background copy. So back to the background copy, marquee tool, selection area, Control C, Control V, Control D, go to my move tool and then move it. Okay, so it's a repetition of a process. So you can see there, I've got all of my layers. I'm going to do one last one on the chin and move it down. So it's created sort of like a glitchy effect image. Okay, so that's the effect that I wanted to get. So I took a bit of inspiration from Height or Magno for this. So I'm going to go through my little selections now. So you can see I've just selected the top marquee layer, which is shown as layer 2, and I can actually change the effect that's on there. So I could do adjustment layers or I could go into filters, and I'm going to try and apply something called fringe, which gives it a sort of like rainbow effect at the sides of sort of like any edges. Okay, so I'm going to go through and I'm going to add that effect onto each of my marquee selections. Now you don't have to do this, you might be happy with the image as it is, okay? But this is just something else you could do, something else you could try out to make your work a little bit more complex, maybe a little bit more interesting. So in Height or Magno's work, he incorporates colour quite a lot, okay, in creating these glitch type effects. So that's what I've taken inspiration from. Just using a little bit more colour to create sort of like a computer generated glitch effect. Okay, apply. Last one, filter, fringe, increase the amounts, and then apply. Okay, now then, if you make a mistake when you're doing this, so I'm just going to show you, get my selection tool, select the copy of the head, Control C, Control V, And then it's created that little layer there. I'm going to move it up and I don't want it. So I'd go across to my layers on the right hand side, click the 3 little dots, and then down at the bottom there's a trash bin. That is your delete layer. Okay, so you can always delete or you can edit, undo. Now I'm going to save this. I'm going to change the name to Koike Inspired Edit 1. I'm going to change it to a JPEG and click download. Press allow, and then that will download to my computer, and then it's up to you to upload it to SharePoint. Okay.